built to win. Applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Diffuse, mine it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like Toby, keep on running, toes they gon' take them. Used to lose, built to win. Applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win.
What up? Happy Monday. Hope y'all had a great weekend. I had somewhat of a great weekend. It is Doghouse Day. Welcome to Dave's Doghouse. Season 2, episode 2. Today, episode 3. Today, we got some new inductees going into the doghouse. We got some people that will be going into the yard. And we have a certain someone coming out of the doghouse today. If you are not already a subscriber, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Hit that alert button as well. So when I go live and upload a video, you will get the notification. And why not just go ahead and hit the link in the bio and become a member of the R2L family? Because you're going to get something here where you don't get anywhere else. And that's sports news, debates, whatever it is, you're going to get here at R2L. It is Monday, February 24th. And we just had some really good basketball games that happened over this weekend and over the past few days. So I'm here to talk about who will be highlighted, who will be lowlighted, and who deserves to be out of the doghouse because of their performance over the weekend and over the last couple of weeks or so. It's just for this week, they will be coming out. So, as I said before, like, share, subscribe, of course, as we get closer to 500 subscribers. So, make sure you go ahead and take care of that for me. And let's get started for today's show. As I said, I have some people that will be coming out of the doghouse today. So who might you be wondering is going to be finally out? Let's see. Because here is who we have in the doghouse so far. We just added a few more people. You know, we had to add PG, Paul George. We had to add LeBron James and Anthony Edwards because of the debacle that they pulled in the All-Star weekend. So, of course, we had to put them in there. Paul George not having a good season. I think he was projected to be the number 3 star. And even though he technically is still the number 3 star, he's playing like he's just a regular role player. I don't know if he's washed or what it is, but Paul George is there. You got Patrick Mahomes there. I mean, we saw what happened in the Super Bowl. Wasn't a good thing. So now we got to talk about who actually has been in there. It's going to come out. And this may come up to us a surprise, but may not. Because although his team did lose by double digits on Sunday, he himself has actually played pretty well over the last week or so. Who might that be, you're asking? Well, he's a part of that list that I talked about on the last segment, the last show, episode 52. If you didn't see it, make sure you go look at it. Where I said that someone was a part of a college where players are averaging 18, 5, and 5. And 46% of the NBA is filled with this college, and that's Duke University. He is also a part of that crew. He was also in that picture. And that's why there could be an argument over who's the best player in there. I believe Jason Tatum is the best player that come out of Duke right now. Overall, some people may say this guy is. And he is my favorite point guard in the league. A guy who has the best handles that we've ever seen. He's probably the most skilled, not probably, the most skilled point guard in the NBA. And my guy, Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving will be out of the doghouse today. Last 3 games for Kyrie, he's put up 35 points, 42 points, and 30 points. So he's been balling. Although he doesn't have his sidekick in Anthony Davis, who just got traded from the Los Angeles Lakers. He does have Max Christie. And like I said, they got blown out on Sunday by the Golden State Warriors. They lost by 20 points. So I get it. People want to say, well, how is Kyrie out? Well, Kyrie has taken care of business. The Mavericks believe in him. They believe that he's the guy that's going to be able to lead them to the promised land. They got to the finals last year with Luka and Kyrie. Kyrie didn't necessarily show up in the finals with going against his old team, the Celtics. So that was one of the reasons why he was put in there. But since they traded Luka, Kyrie has averaged almost 29 points per game, 5 rebounds, almost 2 steals, and he has a 4-2 record. So he's only lost 2 games within that time frame since they traded Luka. And he's shooting 47 from the field, 40 from 3, and 92% from the free throw line. Those are his splits. 40, 47, 40, 92. That's what he's doing in that time frame. So at a time where you think things might get a little harder, when your superstar of the team gets traded to the Lakers, and then you get Anthony Davis to come over to try to help out within that time. And now you're trying to figure out, all right, how is this going to mesh out? Then Anthony Davis gets hurt after the first game. Then you got Max Christie showing up and actually showing out. But Kyrie has been consistent in winning these and having a winning record since trading away their all-star, Luka Doncic. Kyrie is one of the most underrated leaders in the NBA, in my opinion. He is very skilled in what he does. So Kyrie, yes, he deserves to be out of the doghouse. So Kyrie, welcome to being out of the doghouse, my guy. And that concludes everyone who's going to be coming out. So he's the only one coming out of the doghouse at this time. Now, we got to talk about the doghouse. Who this week will be getting served puppy chow for this week and for the foreseeable future until they decide that they want to do better in their endeavors. It's puppy chow time. So, as you can see, my beautiful, nicely looking house. It looks nice, but as you see in the last picture, it's a lot of puppies in there that ain't doing so well. So now, who will be added today? Well, this team is also a historic franchise of what you would consider is a historic franchise in the NBA. They have had some of the... This place is where a lot of players love to play at on the road. This is an enemy for people like Trae Young. This is a place where Dwayne Wade made his mark. LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, Carmelo Anthony, who was on this team. Patrick Ewing played here. There are so many stars. Lynn Sanity. This team has had plenty of people come through this place. But there are also some news about who they may possibly sign. And this is who it is. They may sign Victor Oladipo. This is the report. Shout out to Shot Coverage for this tweet. But the New York Knicks, yes, the New York Knicks are in the doghouse. Now, you may say, Dave, they are 37-20 on the season. How could you put them in the doghouse, Dave? Well, guess what? The Knicks are 0-7. That's right, 0-7 against the top 3 teams in the NBA. That's the Oklahoma City Thunder, the Boston Celtics, and the Cleveland Cavaliers. They are 0-7 against those 3 teams. 37-13 against everyone else. But 0-7 against the top 3 teams in the NBA. And they're supposed to be contenders. They're in the Eastern Conference. 2 of those teams are in the East. That's the Celtics, the defending champs, and the Cavaliers, who have the best record in the NBA right now. They've already been swept by OKC. They can't play them again. They're 0-2 against them. 0-2 against the Cavaliers. And now, after the 13-point loss yesterday to the Celtics, where they were down by a lot more than that, they just caught up in the end with garbage points. They lost another game. They are 0-5 against the Celtics and the Cavaliers, which gives them a minus 105 point differential in the NBA against those teams. Minus 105 against the top 2 teams in the East, and you're in the East yourself? That doesn't look like you're going to be able to get to a championship this year. You'll get out the first round, but the second round is like that's going to be it for you, because you're going to have to run into one of these 2 teams. You're going to play one of them in the second round. And it doesn't look like you're going to get a win in that from the way it is in the regular season. Now, I've also been with that person that says, the regular season does not always matter. But it depends on who the team is. Depends on who the team is. Against yesterday, you want to know what Jason Tatum did to that team? Jason Tatum had one of his best games against the Knicks. And he's had really good games against them all season for real. In the 3 games he's played against them, Tatum put up 25, 10, and 9. That was the game that just passed. Before then, it was 37, 4, and 10. Before that, it was 46 and 4. So Jason Tatum is having his way with the Knicks right now. Before they lost to Boston by 13 on Sunday, they lost by 36 to Cleveland just the game before. The Knicks don't look like a team that can compete against the best in the NBA. They can beat everyone else, but when it comes to the teams in the NBA, it just won't work. The top 3, they can't beat them. They can't beat them. And until then, this is where they're going to be. Knicks, you are being held to a different standard now. You guys have made tremendous moves to put yourselves in position to be competing in the Eastern Conference. 0-2 against the Cavs. And like I said, you lost by 36 the last game, which was terrible. Well, 37, actually. It wasn't even 36. You lost by 37. Because you lost 142 to 105. So you lost by 37 points to the Cleveland Cavaliers. You paid a lot to get Mikal Bridges. You traded 5 first-round picks to get Mikal Bridges. And you also signed OG Anunoby to a 5-year, $202.5 million contract over the summer. And you went and got Karl Anthony Towns. You got Mitchell Robinson that's going to be out for the rest of the season, honestly. So, what are you guys going to do? You can't make any trades. There isn't really one out there in the buyout market to get. I mean, you may be able to have Bojan Bogdanovic. I think he's about to be released from his team. But how is that going to help you against the Celtics, the Cavaliers, and the Oklahoma City Thunder? I don't know. I don't know what you're going to do with that. Out of one last thing. In the series against the Celtics, in the 3 games you played against them, out of 144 total minutes, you have only led for 50 seconds. You thought I was going to say 50 minutes? No, 50 seconds. 50 seconds in that game is how much you've been able to hold a lead against the Celtics. That is ridiculous. I don't care who you think you are, but you will not win an NBA championship or get out of the Eastern Conference if you cannot compete against the 2 best teams in the East, the Celtics and the Cavaliers. And you won't win a championship if you can't beat the Oklahoma City Thunder. So, shout out to my first comment, my brother. They have no defense. They got to outscore people, and they can't do that with the top 6 teams, and that's absolutely true. The defense is just putrid. It's bad. It's terrible. It's horrible. It's whatever you want to use. It ain't good. So, Knicks, you know where you're about to go. Welcome to the doghouse. My guy, you in the doghouse. New York. That's where you go. New York in the doghouse. Now, let's get to the very next contestant to be put in the doghouse to be served some puppy chow. This next person, also a former NBA player, has played for the Warriors and the Miami Heat in their career. And this has nothing to do with what he's done on the court, because he was a phenomenal point guard when he was in the league. And yeah, he talked a lot of trash when he was in the league as well. But this one is just a little bit different. Just a little bit different. And I always consider him one of my favorite point guards, but he's staying in that. It's staying in that. This is what is going to happen to you. Your son is now in the NBA, but you have this beef with multiple players, but most recently, Tyrese Halliburton. So, what's going on, Tim Hardaway Sr.? What's going on? Why are you? Why is this beef going on between you and Tyrese Halliburton? What has Tyrese Halliburton done to you? Now, if we want to go to the facts and see that this beef stems from when you were with the Miami Heat and when Eddie Jones was there. Why am I mentioning Eddie Jones? Oh, because Eddie Jones is Tyrese Halliburton's cousin. And yes, there was something that happened during that time, from what I remember, that was kind of sort of some, you know, some infidelity that happened in between the two of you and your partner at the time. But why is this theme into now? What is this coming up with now? Cooking your son, and you just I don't know what's going on. Tyrese Halliburton, he may talk trash and he may think he is what he is, but I mean, is there is there something that you could do to possibly prove that Tyrese Halliburton isn't one of the best point guards in the league? I don't know. I don't know. And then what you said about Jimmy Butler was a little crazy too. Like Jimmy Butler didn't care about basketball. I don't look. I understand most people say these kind of things with people when players leave, but Jimmy Butler to me doesn't seem like that's a guy that doesn't care about playing basketball or is lazy or face injuries. It doesn't seem like that to me. So, Tim, you got to let some things go. You got to let some things go. You got to let some things go. There are a few things that you just have to be able to control when it comes to who you are as a person. Tyrese Halliburton has backed up what he's considered. He's considered one of the best point guards in the league. Definitely one of the best facilitating point guards in the league. And yes, he was not playing well in the beginning of the season, but he's playing a lot better now. And you know what? I would like to see you play him one-on-one. Since you keep saying that you want to come back, you wish you could come back in the league and prove that he's not all that. Go ahead, challenge him to a one-on-one. Let's see what happens. Y'all can go to the big three, play a one-on-one. I believe there's a one-on-one league that Tracy McGrady has. You can do that. You find a way to be able to back up what you're trying to say about Tyrese Halliburton. But calling him out on podcasts and stuff like that, that's weak. I'll be honest about it. It's weak. If you got a problem with somebody, you're going to handle it man to man. And go do it. Go handle it man to man. Like I said, I respect what you did on the court. You play for my favorite team. I have the Miami Heat shirt on right now. You are the best point guard we've had for a very long time. And Tyrese Halliburton, he just does what he needs to do. Now, I get it. He was one of those people that didn't really do much in the Olympics, but Tyrese Halliburton also led the Pacers to an Eastern Conference Finals this season. You got to say something about that. Yeah, I mean something. I get it. They didn't win, but he got to the Eastern Conference Finals. Lost against the Celtics, but don't matter. They got there. So, Tim Hardaway, this is where you're going to be. Welcome to the doghouse.
My guy, you in the doghouse.
Now, this very next one is honestly going to hurt me to be able to talk about this because I just said that I am a fan of this team. So I'm not going to hold you guys any longer. It's the Miami Heat. It's the Miami Heat for reasons that have not just happened within the last 6 games. It's something that has been brewing for the season. Something that's happened way too often when it comes to this Miami Heat team. What I don't like when it comes to Miami is there has been 14 losses this season that we've had to where we've had a double-digit lead and we've blown it. That is the second most such collapses in the NBA this season, only behind the Utah Jazz. 14 double-digit leads. To be lost. And now we have a game in the next few minutes against the Hawks. Are we going to have another double-digit loss? I mean, another loss after a double-digit lead? I don't know. This is also kind of sort of a Trae Young and Tyler Hero game. There was a lot of stuff that was saying that Trae Young should have been voted in before Tyler Hero did. Tyler Hero got in. He also made he won the three-point contest. Something Trae Young hasn't done yet. So you got people that's going to be talking about that. Spo, got to talk about you as well. In the game last night against the Bucks, in the start of the fourth quarter, when you entered Terry Rozier, the Bucks went on a 12-2 run in 2 minutes. 40 seconds before the Heat subbed out Tyler Hero. Subbed him out for Tyler Hero. Now, mind you, Tyler Hero put up 40 points last night. 40. That is the second time in 3 games where Tyler Hero has put up 38 or more, and we lost. We are wasting his career year right now. The Miami Heat do not look like a team that is ready to make even a play-in run at this moment. We are 1-5 in the last 6 games, and that matters because that's the amount of time we've been without Jimmy Butler. And we are 1-6 in that time frame. Before, we won a game against the Raptors. Before I saw that, we went into the All-Star break on a 4-game losing streak. 4-game losing streak. Then made it 5, then won a game, and then lost again. This is not how I imagine the season to go. I also imagine Jimmy Butler will still be here, but hey, I respect that he's gone, and I'm glad he's gone somewhere that he can compete and find a way to get into the playoffs and possibly win a championship. Miami, Spo, Pat Riley, Mickey Arison, Caron Butler, Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo, Khalil Ware. I'm just naming everybody that's a part of the team right now. Look, man, y'all got to do something. Change it up. Win some games. Go on a 5-game win streak. Please. I don't like talking about Miami in this way. This is not Miami Heat basketball. This is flameless basketball. This is cold basketball. There's nothing hot about this. Nothing about this says Miami. It's just, you call it Wisconsin cold or Maine cold. I don't know, but this is not Miami Heat. You're playing with no chemistry. It's like you don't know what's going on. And it seems like Spo still can't figure out lineups. It is now the second half of the season. This cannot continue to go on. So Miami Heat, until you get your stuff together, you are in the doghouse.
My guy, you in the doghouse.
That concludes the people in the doghouse for this week. Now we have to talk about the dogs. Who are the dogs of the week? And who is the big dog? That's a lot to be, it's a lot to take into right now. So, dogs of the week. I have 3 candidates as well. And as I said, this is strictly basketball. It's a half. No, I'm not about to talk about you. No, I'm not. But look, this is where we talk about those that are being superior in their positions, the ones that are doing the best out of everyone else, the ones that are, the ones that you could say, oh yeah, they deserve to be in that position. They are definitely dogs. Like there's no questioning that they deserve to be here. And although I believe that there will be some that will question it, of course. Because this first candidate of the dogs has not, I have not talked about this young freshman just yet. But it's about time. It's about time. There was something that was said by his head coach a while ago that says that he was white or European, that he would be in the conversation for National Player of the Year. Whether you believe that to be true or not, that's not my argument. I still think it's between Cooper Flagg and Dylan Harper and maybe even Ace Bailey. Derek Queen does deserve to be in this conversation, though. And that's what I'm talking about right now. Derek Queen is a 6'10 freshman out of Baltimore, Maryland. Yes, Baltimore, you got another one. You got another one that's balling out right now. He's playing for the home state team. He plays for the University of Maryland. He's a Turk. Homegrown. And you want to know what he is doing this season? Maryland is 21-6 on the year. They have a game in 2 days against Michigan State, who is top 10 in the country now. They're the 9th best team in the country after the AP poll came out today. MSU, Tom Izzo, Jeremy Fears, those guys. That's who you got to face coming up on Wednesday. Derek Queen, you got an opportunity to further put yourself in these conversations. Right now, for the season, he's averaging 16 points per game, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, shooting 55% from the field. Now, as noted, the last few games, these are the rebounds he's put up. He's put up 17 rebounds in the last game against USC where they won 88-71. Against Iowa, where they pretty much almost blew him out by 30. 101 to 75. He had 13 rebounds in that game. In the game against Nebraska, he had 11 rebounds. Against Rutgers, he had 15 rebounds. They're on a 4-game win streak right now. They won 4 of their last 5 games. And he has been one of the best players on this team. Him, along with Julian Reese. And we know who Julian Reese is. You hear the last name. Do you know who he's related to? Yes, that Reese. Yes, Angel Reese. That's her cousin. Derek Queen and Julian Reese in the game against Illinois earlier this season, they both combined for a 20-point road win over number 17 Illinois at that time. They were number 17 in the country. Derek Queen put up 25 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals. He was 10 of 13 from the floor in that game. He is a part of a loaded freshman class after what was considered one of the worst drafts last season. This class consists of Cooper Flagg, Ace Bailey, Dylan Hopper, VJ Edgecombe, Karaspus, can't pronounce his last name, so I'm gonna just say his Kasparis. That's the name I can pronounce at this moment. Like I said, charge it to my head and my heart. Trey Johnson, Jace Richardson, Jeremiah Fierce, Asa Newell, and Ian Jackson. He's a part of that freshman class, man. This is a very good freshman class, and he's one of the best in that class. And he should be in that conversation for National Player of the Year. Just saying. He's that good. No, I can guarantee you no one thought Maryland was going to be this good. Maryland wasn't in the conversation to be 21-6 at this point in the season. But they are there. He's also a part of the Ken Palm Player of the Year rankings. He's top 10 in that. Derek Queen for the Terps is a baller. And he's playing lights out for one of the most surprising teams in college basketball, the Maryland Terrapins. So welcome to the Dogs, Derek Queen. And for my next contestant of the Dogs, as I only have 2 more contestants to talk about for today's show. The contestant is, I guess you could say, one of the teams that I have closely followed for a good little while. They have currently the best point guard in the league. I mean, some people may. Well, I don't know if he's the best point guard in the league now, but he has been considered the best point guard in the league for a while now. He has won multiple championships, won his first Finals MVP just a few seasons ago. He is the greatest shooter of all time. And now he has a teammate who is probably one of the most underrated players of all time. And they are part of a team that was a dynasty and that is still championship focused. Now, are they going to win the championship this year? Oh, if you ask Draymond, he would say yes. It's the Golden State Warriors. Since they acquired Jimmy Butler, they are 5-1. They blew out the Mavericks by 20-plus points just yesterday. Steph Curry now has the most games in NBA history with 30-plus points in less than 30 minutes. Jimmy Butler as a Warrior, in the 6 games he's played, he's put up 25 points, 20, 21, 19, 17, and 18. He's averaging 20.4 points per game as a Warrior. Now, when he was with the Miami Heat, he was only averaging 17 points per game. In a new place, And you can tell the difference that he's making on defense. Him and Draymond Green are both really, really good defenders, if not great. And you can see that when they're both on the floor. Jimmy, doesn't matter who he's guarding, he's going to play tough defense. Winning percentage this season. Now, I know it's only been 6 games that Jimmy Butler has played with the Warriors, but these are the best winning percentages this season. You got the Oklahoma City Thunder with an, let's say, 82% win percentage, or 81.8. Let's put it that way. Cleveland Cavaliers, 82.1. Those are the 2 best out of the entire season. But of any stretch, the Jimmy Butler Warriors are 83.3% win percentage. And like I said, it's only 6 games, and they're 5-1. But that's a pretty good record, especially someone who just came over from a totally different environment, who's not used to playing this kind of way. And he's not the guy. He doesn't have to have the ball in his hands at all times. He's played that way before, and he's playing that way again, and he's showing you exactly what his value is. He can help you win a championship. He could definitely lead a team there, but he can help you win one as well. And it's possible, not saying that it can happen this year, but he's on a 2-year contract. He already signed an extension with the Warriors. He also has the most free throws made per game by a Warrior, and he's only been there for 6 games. Now, the other person, you know who that is. This is Will Chamberlain. Will Chamberlain has made, for his career as a Warrior, 7.8 free throws per game. Jimmy has made 8.2. So the Warriors seems like they're back to their winning ways. Seems like they have an opportunity to do something that a lot of other people want to do, and that's compete for a championship. Don't know if it's that possible right now. They aren't even in top 6. They're still in the play-in right now. But who really wants to face the Warriors right now? I know there's this video going around where Stephen A. Smith from First Take is basically saying that maybe he was wrong. He thinks maybe that the Warriors can knock out OKC. I don't know. OKC is young, but they did have some playoff spirits from last year. So I think it's going to be totally different this time around. And SGA he's the MVP of the season. Let's just be honest about it. He's the MVP of the season. But that is what's happening with the Warriors right now, and that's why they're dogs. So Warriors, welcome to being dogs. Now, we come to the final spot, the dog of the week. She is no stranger to being in the dogs or being talked about, period. Now, I have been a huge advocate to talk about women's sports, talk about women's basketball, college, and, WNBA. I think it's a very beautiful fundamental part to watch because they strictly are with the fundamentals. I mean, yeah, you don't see a lot of dunking and stuff, but you see some of the flashes. You look at Juju Watkins, Paige Beckers, you look at Caitlin Clark, you look at all of these, Hannah Hidalgo, Olivia Miles, Tanaya Latson out of FSU. You see all of these players, these women, these ladies, Dejanay Carrington. I can go down the line of all of these ballers. This here is what you see now with this young lady. She's had some criticism from how she acts outside of the game, the way that, people view her Is she really serious about the sport, or does she just want to be a celebrity? You see her in concerts with Lotto, with Megan Thee Stallion. You see her around Rihanna. You see her around all of these celebrities. She's everywhere. She has her own McDonald's meal now. She has Reese Puffs. She got her own signature shoe. And she's also a part of a 3-on-3 league, and she just had a dominating game. They used to call her the Bayou Barbie. Now she's the Chi-Town Barbie. She has her own podcast now. But don't get it twisted. She still can play the basketball game at a high level. Now, Angel Reese has had a season. Although it ended shortly because she got injured, she missed the last half of the WNBA season. Her team missed the playoffs. She grabbed 446 rebounds, which is the highest mark in a single season. And there was 13.1 boards per game. Those two are the highest marks ever in a single season. She broke those records as a rookie. But on Friday night, in a game against the Lunar Owls, Angel Reese put up 22 points and racked up 21 rebounds in that game. Not only that, she was 10 of 19 from the field, so she was also efficient. That's over 50%. And she had a great game. And she also hit him with the whoo. So she did that as well. So we know what Angel Reese is about. She's going to talk trash and she's going to play ball. And that's exactly what she has done. She's top 20 in scoring in the unrivaled 3-on-3 league. This is the first year of the league. So, of course, it's very new. But she made a record already. She is the first woman to put up a 2020 game in this 3-on-3 league. And this is the maiden year of the league, the very first year of this league. And she already has a 2020 game. We know one thing that translates no matter where you go, if you play basketball, is rebounds. And that's one thing she has worked on and has perfected is rebounds. Now, there's a video going around that Lisa Leslie talked about, her working on her layups. And yeah, the form may need to get better. Of course, there's always a game. There's always a side of the game that needs to be worked on. But she is a baller. Angel Reese is a dog. We all know that she did this against Kaylee Clark when it was LSU versus Iowa. And we know the thing that she said about her also bringing audience into the WNBA game, and that is true. She does bring audience also to the WNBA game. But this is more so about what she just did lately by creating a record. Well, I won't say she created a record, but she did something which created a record. Now, this is also to say that she has some good teammates on her team. Chelsea Gray in that same game put up 26.6 rebounds, 5 assists. She was 3 of 5 from 3 and 3 of 3 from the free throw line. So, the Rose team is a really good team. And that team that they beat, the Lunar Owls, that was their first loss of the season. So not only did she put up an historic stat sheet in a game where they won, they beat a team that was undefeated. So yes, Angel Reese is this week's big dog. So give it up for the big dog and welcome her to the yard because she is the best of the best for this week. Welcome, Chi-Town Barbie. That is it for today's show. Again, make sure you like, share, subscribe to Dave's Doghouse on YouTube. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. That is my name on both, even though you only see the Instagram symbol. It's also on me on Twitter. So follow me on there. You'll get more content coming, and also on TikTok as well. I'm also there. So you can follow me on TikTok as well. Thank you guys for tuning in. I will see you guys next time for episode 4, season 2. Peace out.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.